Got a fairly good reception. It's a real pleasure to be back here again. This is the start of the real campaign season in earnest, so it's very nice to be here. I'm a little worried about our country and our politics. It's kind of become tribal, and that's what happens in a two-party system. I don't think that's good for our politics, and I think it's really bad for, at the federal level, where we see, it doesn't matter if we have a Republican or a Democrat in the presidency, it doesn't matter if we send Mark Warner back to Washington or if we replace him with Ed Gillespie, we're still going to get more big government, because nobody is fighting for the public interest. Mark Warner keeps saying, gives a laundry list of all the things he wants to do, but he doesn't distinguish between our intentions and the actual effects of our policies. Well, newsflash, the financial crisis didn't come from nowhere. He often talks about bipartisanship. Well, bipartisanship gave us a mass surveillance state. Mark Warner voted for every enabling statute and against every amendment that would undercut the mass surveillance state. Ed Gillespie worked for the president who started it. We have a $17 trillion debt. Mark Warner, when he came into office, it was $11 trillion. Before Ed Gillespie's boss, Bush, came into office, it was $5.5 trillion. Right now, this split race is not a contested one between the major candidates. Mark Warner's up by 15 to 25 points. This isn't close. This is your opportunity to vote against the status quo in Washington. You're throwing your vote away unless you vote for me. Rarely can you say that in an election, but this is true. You said you wanted to see, we want Ed. You had Ed. It was called the Bush presidency. $1 trillion and thousands of American lives lost in Iraq, creating a vacuum that ISIS has now filled. Congratulations. And I'm not just picking on the Republicans. The Democrats are complicit in the Iraq war as well. Oh, Obama was the first bad president ever, according to Republicans. Newsflash. Bush existed before Obama. The healthcare crisis is due to 100 years of misregulation from both Republicans and Democrats at the federal and state level. Obamacare is just the last incarnation of a central planning deceit. This is not how we solve our healthcare crisis. Okay? So I'm just standing before you telling you we need more freedom in our economic policy and more freedom in our personal lives. And the only person in this race who's offering that is me. And not only is this race uncompetitive between the Republican and Democrats, you have an opportunity to give the Libertarian Party major party status. Any result for me over 10% gives us major party status, which means we can get our candidates on the ballot. And that matters because in 2015, we have state and local elections again. Over 40 of our 100 delegate seats go uncontested every year, and over 40% of our state Senate seats go uncontested every year. That is a disgrace. We can get libertarians in two-way races so that voters have more competitive elections. Now, I'm not the only libertarian up here. There's also Will Hammer. I want you to listen to him. Bob Goodlatte has been in office for now 22 years. He originally ran on term limits. He's been in there for 11 terms. He's voted for the Bush deficits. What's the point of voting for the incumbent when we have $17 trillion of debt and we've had nothing but mass surveillance, 50 years of a drug war, 2.3 million prisoners, a third of them non-violent drug offenders? Will Hammer, there's no Democrat running against Bob Goodlatte. This is your opportunity to put somebody in Washington from a third party. You will see issues get raised that no one else is willing to raise. And you will see somebody who's willing to work with both sides of the aisle to take the good from the Democrats, the good from the Republicans, and the bad from neither. My name is Robert Sarvis. I'd love for you to come talk to me, come to a campaign event, support my campaign. I know these guys up front are here for their candidates, but the people who actually live here in Buena Vista, I hope you have an open mind. Please come talk to me. Please come talk to Will Hammer. Thank you so much.